Today on the workbench I have a this is a Stewart F7A unit. I've got the F7B unit also, and we're going to put decoders in them using the gentleman that owns these. He likes the Digitrax decoders, so we're going to put a Digitrax. Let's get the glare off of that there. SDH166D. So, let me get this opened up. And there's our decoder. Our instructions. So let's get started on this. We'll get this thing taken apart. And these come apart. The windows have clips on them. And I'll show you that here in a second, but you just pry the body apart. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to have to remove the front coupling, which I almost forgot about. After I find a Phillips screwdriver, after I find a flat screwdriver, well, there's the one I'm looking for. We'll pull that front coupler off. Set that aside. Now, just a matter of pulling the sides apart. And there's the inside. Here's what I'm saying about these windows. This is the outside of the window. You can see that how that's raised. So that sits against the inside of the shell, and then it's got these clips that catch. They catch down here on these two, so that keeps the body in. Now they are kind of a pain because they like to fall out. Go ahead and stick that back in. So there's that. They do sit nice and flat. But now, what we need to do is figure out, really what we need to figure out is what we're going to do with the speaker and the capacitor for the speaker. The decoder, well, I can't do that. Okay, what I can do is the speaker, I can sit back here in the back. That won't affect anything. I don't think. It would be nice if the wiring came through the side. Excuse me. I might be able to keep that. I can keep that over far enough to one side there. that will be fine with our wiring. I'll be able to bring that up. Lay my decoder in here. So this really isn't going to be as hard as I thought. The capacitor, and I'll put liquid black tape on those. I may end up, if I can, which I can put that capacitor right under there and it won't hit a thing. Let me check that again. I think that'll work out good. None of these wires right here I will need. Or I won't need any of those. I'll have to fasten this up to this, because if I don't, then it'll get down into the flywheel. That can go there. I'll have this in here. And actually, I think I'm going to turn this speaker down. That way the sound will come through the bottom of the locomotive. I'll have that there. Let me cut some of these wires and get rid of them. So I know I need that. Actually, I'm not going to cut them. What I'm going to do is pull the whole wire connector and all out. There's that one I don't need. I don't need this red one. I need that red one. I don't need that yellow, green, purple, or white. I do need that. I believe that's the green one. Yep. I need the one, that yellow beside of it. This way I don't have to put any, I don't have to worry about them shorting out on anything or I need that blue one and that black one, but the purple one is in between the two. So there's that. There's that. All of those I need. I'm going to go ahead and put some liquid black tape on that. There's that. So I won't have to worry about that now. Excuse me again. Okay, so we figured out what we're going to do with our speaker and our capacitor. We'll set that off to the side. Let it dry. Now, what I'll do with the I'll have to isolate the motor, and that'll be the first thing I do. So the way I'll do that, I have some heat shrink tubing here. One piece is all I need. So what I'll do is I'll slip the heat shrink onto this piece of copper here. Let me pull those connections off. There you can see they've got the light hooked up right there and right there. And I'll put, when I go to put the light on, I'll hook a resistor up to it. Pull that out. Pull that out. So there's our light, and it is an incandescent bulb. So alright, let me take this piece of shrink tubing, we'll cut it in half, give or take. Turn my soldering iron on. I'll be able to solder my motor leads right to this. I need about 3 hands. There's that one. Okay. So there, I've got those soldered on, or not soldered on, but in. And I'll I'll show you how I'll test that here in a second. But I want to go ahead and put these back. And that goes on that side. There's that. Well, I can't get that back in there quite the way I want it to. There it is. We'll put a touch of solder on that. Not big on how they've got that bulb in there. But let me pull that out for right now. Okay, there's that. All these are good. Yeah, I think I'll put some solder right there. Before I heat shrink that though, or before I seal that, I'm going to get out my meter. And I want to check to see that I am not touching anything. Make sure that motor's isolated. So I've got connection from front to back. Okay, I'll touch that. Nothing. 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 Okay. So we're good. We are isolated. So I'll get out what I'll have to do. I'll attach my motor leads to that. I want to put some solder on these connections just because, give it a little better connection. So we might as well do a little bit of soldering here. And I'm going to ignore the phone. That'll give me a more solid connection there. Okay. I changed my tip on that soldering gun. I got a little smaller one. I'm not sure if I like it yet or not. So right now we've got our motor isolated. Oop. Got our motor isolated, our leads connected to that. So what I'll end up doing here, my black and red, and I'm going to pull this plug. I don't need this purple, so I'll do the same thing I did a little bit ago. Pull those wires out. I need the black. I need the gray. Let's see. Yellow. Yellow is the rear light, so I don't need it. White is the front light, blue is the common, orange is motor, red is pickup, and I don't need this other green. So that's that. Excuse me. So we've got that down. Trying to decide here, because I can leave that right in the center. My speaker's going to be okay. I'll put that in the center. Actually, I think I want to keep it up here just a little bit. That'll give me some more room up here. I want to avoid this area because that sticks down farther. So I'll put that up there. Yeah, that'll miss the shell or the windows. So I can put that there. Boy, that's going to make things tight up here. Well, no, it won't. Okay, let's do this. Let me plug this back in. That's back in. We'll lay that over. Our black wire is the fireman's side, so it'll go over here. Since I've got solder right here, I'll cut that wire short. And the red one will be the same length. It'll go over here. And we'll strip these off. Some flux. Turn this around so I can hold this with my left hand. That way that'll double over. I'll be able to take that up here like this. That'll leave that nice and neat. Now before I get too far, I don't know about that. Let's see. How about a nice little LED from Monster LEDs. Big Al Mayo. I usually make these myself, and I think I say that in just about every video, but I bought these because they're already made. Sometimes I get lazy. But I think that I will use this. I can stick that right in there. That'll work out nicely. And my red wire is the common on that. So what I'll do is pull that back out of there. It's a little too much wire. I'm going to snip some of that off. Just about half of it. And those are telemarketers all the time that keep calling. get that stripped off. There's my hold that. Cut that side. And now we'll solder that up. That way I can hold out with my left hand. And I put that on the wrong side. I'll blame it on the telemarketers that call them. Okay, there's that. Cut that down or off. And my blue wire will go to that. And I'll put a piece of heat shrink on this. Cut it kind of short. Get the heat shrink out. I think that red will go over top. Nope. Piece of the black out. That'll work. That'll cover what I need it to cover. Put that away. Well, good Lord. Okay, we're back. Crazy telemarketers. Some flux on that. Flux that side. Okay, there's that. Yeah. Pull that up there. Okay, there's that. Now with our white wire, cut it about to the same length. Need another piece of heat shrink. And I know I fluxed that once, but I'm going to do it again. Okay, so there's my light connections, I should say. So there's that. Now, that in there. Push our light through. So there's that. this wire through the center of that. Actually, pull it over that way. That can lay right there. That'll go right there. Actually, I'm going to shove that through a little farther. It's about as far through as it could go. Anyway, that'll work out. That will work out. Okay. All right, we've made it back here. Let's see. Where are we at? We have got the front light hooked up. The power, track power. So all I need to do is run the motor leads. So I'll trim that just a hair long. That way that'll give me plenty of room to move around if I need. Those trimmed up. And then we can get some flux on those. Put a little dab of flux there. Tin up my wires. Okay. Let's see. Try and bend that around there. There's that one. Okay. There's all of our connections up front, and that's what it's going to look like. Nice, clean install. Now I just need to put the speaker in. Turn that back around. I'm going to set that as far in as I can. Let me plug that in. Move that back a little bit. Set that right there. Now that'll need a piece of double-sided tape. I don't think I'm going to be able to put this where I wanted to. I'm just going to set it. I'll set it up here. That'll work better. Yeah. Okay. So we're almost ready to try this thing out. Cut some double-sided tape. Another piece. And we'll kind of set it over to that side. That way it'll give me plenty of room for the wire there. I'll set this back as far as I can. So let's try this. Let's try this out. See what we've got. And I'll change the camera angle. Okay, well, so far so good here. I've got my DCC system plugged in. Now let's get out the controller here. This is set at factory settings, so it's set to steam. I'll have to adjust the volume. But it is running. Maybe I just ought to make this A unit a steam engine. Let's see. Let's see if we have a headlight. Yep, even the dynamo works. You can't see the headlight on there, I don't think. Nope. It's right in here. Maybe you can see it on my finger. But we'll get the body put on this and then we'll call it quits. Let me turn that off there. So, alright, I'm going to switch views on you again, and then I'll be back with the body on it. Okay, we're back. We're ready to put the body back on. Nothing in the way. There we go. Plenty of movement. Okay. Let me get we'll get this coupler back on it. And then coupler came apart. All right. And a flat screwdriver here. Yep. That pushed around, and we'll have to take it out. Well, if I could just leave that sit right there, I knew that would happen. It's a bad thing about those, they don't snap together, and then you got to get everything lined up. There we go. Loosen that up just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so now we've got there's our body on. Couplers are all on. Everything fit really well. So now I'll put it back up on the test track and then we'll show you another side view. So let me shut this off. Alright, so we've got it back here on the test stand with the body on it, and what I'm going to do now is, of course, right now it's steam. So I'm going to change, let's just hit the headlights, or headlight. That way you can hear the dynamo kick on. But we'll get that stopped. And we'll make a few CV changes. So let's go to, we're going to program it on the main. It is Loco 3. I want to change the address. And it'll be a long address of 231. So that's that. Now I want to go back and program on the main again. We'll change some CVs. So the first thing we want to change is we're going to put a diesel scheme in this. And we'll switch that. It's CV, with this decoder it's CV60. And we'll change that to a value of 01. So that changes that. Okay, you can hear that change. Then I want to change the master volume, which is CV58, and the default is 9. I'm going to set it up to 15. So we'll enter that. Okay. And let me just get out of that. Alright, I'm gonna cut the power. That way I'll make sure that it takes. Okay. Plug the power back in. Our headlight still works. I'm going to start ramping up. You can see that. Let's try. There's our bell. There's our horn. Let's see. I forget what else we've got. That's our coupler. F9. It's our brake squeal. F8 is the mute. Okay. So, for right now, and I may change that, I'm going to change that light around, because I know the gentleman that I have done these for, or that I do these for, he likes the look of the gyro light. But I'm going to have to get in there and figure out which one that is. I can't remember right offhand. So, but anyway, it looks like we are done with this project. Of course, as you can tell, I didn't like the number boards or anything, but this was just a quick and dirty install, and I think it sounds pretty good. There's our dynamic brake. Alright. We'll slow that down and turn our headlight off. And so that's it for this project. Thanks for watching.